So today we're looking at possibly the smallest amount of SBCs we've seen for probably quite a while, to be honest. Team of the season has been in full flow of SBCs, icons have been in plentiful, and most definitely team of the seasons have been on everybody's radar. Now we've got barely any. Like, quite literally, everything is running out, which is normally a good thing because what it does is it shakes up everything. I feel like when we get to team of the season and we get a little bit into it, you kind of just get a bit bored. Like, in terms of what we've got, the icons have been the same for a considerable amount of time now. And with all of the squads that we've had from the UCL winners, UECL, and also the UEL, as well as then every single team of the season, we've had, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 different teams of team of the season, ranging from at least 12 to 15, 16 players in every single one. We need a change up, and Shapeshifters is normally a pretty good one for that, and I'm hoping they do go for the 2 weeks. By the looks of it, we should be getting some monstrous SBCs if they are really narrowing this down now. We are starting to go into the SBC portion of the game, where obviously we see the 91 mixed icon, the 1 of 15 encore player pick. We're seeing a lot more of these repeatable sort of packs. Whether we see any sort of exchange or anything that gives you players back to make it a full circle as such, that would be always interesting in itself. But the players are what we're looking at today. Who is there to complete? Now, when we look at icons, these are going to be the bread and butter of the game because we know they've got a few weeks left. Obviously, the likes of Owen, Taram have still got 3 weeks to 4, give or take. But there is a lot that's got 8 hours, 2 days, 3 days. So we're going to be replacing them more than likely with the Shapeshifters. I can see a lot of these cards waiting and basically going until we get into that Shapeshifter portion, and they'll start the icons from there. That's at least what I'm hoping for. If I was to give you a quick burst of what icons I would do and not do, I think right now I would just be playing my time a little bit kind of easier. I wouldn't necessarily be completing icons for the sake of it because we are going to get a lot more now coming in. So I would go Lam into Don't Complete. I'd go Beckenbauer now into Don't Complete. I'd do the same for Nedved. I personally like Henri. If you are not willing to wait for a big version of him, or if he does come in an SBC and it makes him very difficult to grind, that is going to be a great version of him to put into an evolution. So that for me is an absolute must. I think Eusebio is decent because we are getting into the 93 rated SBC, 93 evolutions. So he could be one that would get into the next one. Whether we are getting into quadruple playstyle pluses with a potential finesse, that would be my personal last kind of ditch effort when we do look at the Eusebio, just because stats wise, he's absolutely there. He's got some decent playstyle pluses already. I need the finesse to finish that product off. We look at Sauer. I think right now, I wouldn't complete her. Zico, back then, still wouldn't complete him. Same with Baresi. He's just not on the radar, unfortunately. Drogba, I do like Drogba. I think 500,000 is decent for him. I would only say, just because I've got to put Eto'o into at least a value of a striker, Drogba's kind of like the opposite side of what Eto'o is in terms of how he plays. Drogba's your big old unit, runs through, he's got the pace, he's obviously got some prowess and strength getting through on goal, whereas Eto'o is the opposite. He is lightning fast, dribbling on a 2-pence, and he absolutely gets the goals. Both of them are as effective as each other. I do personally like Eto'o that little bit more, just because he can play in a few different roles when it comes to it, whereas Drogba is very much that target striker, get it on his back and just run the whole way through him. Obviously, when we do look at Thuram, that's quite an easy one. He's one of the best right backs in the game. Now, obviously, we have had a lot of the UCL winners. Not the Frimpong. The Hakimi is incredible as a right back. Obviously, Gusto, Reece James are incredible as right backs as well and could save you a solid mil. But Thuram is pretty fantastic as well. And then finally, Eto'o Owen is not going in anywhere. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Which then leaves us with the players, which to be honest are quite easy in themselves again. These are all brand new compared to last week. We have lost every single one compared to last week other than Jamie Vardy, who's got 8 hours to grind out. For me personally, if I was going as a striker, I think Jamie Vardy, for the fact that we could get him into an evolution later on down the line as potentially a 99 Vardy. I know there is other versions of him. I don't think he's got a 91 grassroots, so it's not as if you don't do this card, you'll never get a dynamic for Vardy again, but if you want him already at that sort of level, this is going to be your best point of view to get it. I think he is going to be well worth your coins there. When it comes to the rest of the SBCs, this is where it gets a bit interesting because, to be honest, I don't like really any of them. I think all of them in general are very mediocre, if I'm being brutally honest with them. We've got Baude, and I think he's one that really comes in as a solid option as a left back, especially because left backs, we've got some nice options, but the variety of going into that absolute top has only recently just kind of come into practice, really, especially with all of the winners from the Champions League and Europa League, having your likes of Nuno Mendes coming in as well as a big left back, Cucurella, not Pedro, Undogi coming in as the left back. That's kind of pushed the spotlight a little bit away from Theo Hernandez because he didn't get a team of the season. So Baude is definitely pulling himself into that spot as well. I personally like him. Now, Barry's probably the only other one that I'd say actually kind of caught my eye a little bit, and I think that is just purely down to name purpose as well. But in general, he's not a bad striker, like genuinely, for the cheap beast that you're looking at. He's obviously got the finesse, which is nice, press proven, aerial. He's coming in at what, 6'5" as a striker with great stat upgrade. Why not? Like, absolutely, why not? Now, Mahrez, for me, unfortunately, is just he could have been so much better, in my opinion anyway. He really should be just head and shoulders above the rest. Like in general, they are waiting for footies with these sorts of cards because they don't want to make them too crazy, because they've got to make them at least pullable when it comes to the Saudi team of the season and also the MLS. Whereas like Mahrez with this SBC 127, like we said, we had 18 teams, so we've had at least 15 team of the season teams prior to this card. Now, yes, half of them might have been minor leagues and not necessarily got anybody in that right wing. But what are you doing with Mahrez? Yes, he can go right wing, right mid. Finesse, fantastic, brilliant. I'm not a massive fan of technical. The first touch, he's just a standard card. So in terms of what you're kind of going with, the only reason why you would complete Mahrez is purely on link basis, in my opinion. Yes, his dribbling is fantastic. His passing is always good. But we have probably 10 other wingers that can do the exact same thing for this SBC. That's why SBCs for me are just fodder fillers. They are absolutely fodder fillers at this point in my. So it is just to the point where you're like, okay, I'll finish them just because we've got X amount of fodder left. Like we look at the rest of these prices, you got 12k, 33 for Tony, even with some very good playstyle pluses. Yes, I could most definitely say he's a decent striker. Is he going to be completed? Probably not. We had Barry literally a week before. We've obviously had Vardy. We've had Henry. There's just no reason. You've got 25k, 100,000, 12,000. There is just no value when it comes to these cards, unfortunately. So the rest of them, to be honest, would be more in your storage, and you'd just complete them for another team of the season requirement. That is literally the only reason why you'd have any of these in the team. It is a bit of a shame, but we will be going into, obviously, the shapeshifters, the ultimate team of the season. So hopefully SBCs do get a little bit more exciting, if they can be, and the grind of the game does continue into footers. But let me know what you think. Make sure you like and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.